Hi, everyone, welcome to my channel again. Today, I am going to share about one proportion test. Before watching, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Your support will encourage me to produce more videos related to statistic, Lean Six Sigma and operation management. What is proportion? A proportion is a relative portion of a whole, as opposed to a count or frequency. Many engineering problems concern a random variable that follows the binomial distribution. The binomial distribution is a type of distribution that has two possible outcomes: success or a failure, accept or reject, good or bad. The binomial distribution is used to model discrete data. Examples of binomial data that are frequently used in everyday life are the number of defectives in a manufacturing lot, the number of wrong patient prescriptions issued by a healthcare professional, the number of goods shipped to a wrong address by a forwarding company. What is one proportion test? Use one proportion to estimate a binomial population proportion and to compare the proportion to a target value or a reference value. For example, a random sample of 1,000 PCB boards are chosen for quality check. Of the 1,000 sample, 87 are defective. Is the process defect rate higher than 9%? Develop null and alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis, or H sub 0, is the statement that we are assuming to be true and we are trying to find evidence against it. Alternate hypothesis is the statement that we would eventually like to support or prove. For a one proportion test, the hypotheses are as follows. In the null hypothesis, the population proportion equals the hypothesized proportion. In alternative hypothesis, there are three options, which are the population proportion differs from the hypothesized proportion. The population proportion is greater than the hypothesized proportion and the population proportion is less than the hypothesized proportion. To ensure that your results are valid, consider the following guidelines when you collect data, perform the analysis, and interpret your results. The sample data should be selected randomly. The data can contain only two categories, such as pass-fail and 1 or 0. Each observation should be independent from all other observations. Minitab's one proportion test uses the normal approximation method, an exact method for calculating the hypothesis test and confidence interval. Today, we will learn the normal approximation method. A manufacturer produces metal part in automobile engine applications. The customer requires that the fraction defective not exceed 0.15. The manufacturer takes a random sample of 400 devices and finds that 7 of them are defective. Can the manufacturer meet the customer's expectation using alpha equals 0.05? The null hypothesis is the population proportion is equal to 0.15, while alternative hypothesis is population proportion is less than 0.15. The level of significance, alpha, is 0.05. Number of trials, is 400 and observed number of events in n trials, x is 7. Next, I am going to show you the steps of performing a one proportion test using Minitab software. Choose Stat, Basic Statistics, one proportion. From the drop-down list, select Summarized Data. In the number of events, enter 7. In number of trials, enter 400. Select Perform Hypothesis Test. In hypothesized proportion, enter 0.15. Click Options. Enter 95 under confidence level. Under alternative hypothesis, select proportion less than hypothesized proportion. Under method, select normal approximation. The test statistic for one proportion is shown as below. N is number of trials, x is observed number of events in n trials, and proportion sub 0 is hypothesized proportion. The test statistic is -7.42. The calculation method is shown on the right-hand side. To determine whether the difference between the population proportion and the hypothesized proportion is statistically significant, compare the p-value to the significance level. In this case, the p-value is 0.000. The p-value is a probability that measures the evidence against the null hypothesis. The smaller the p-value, the stronger the evidence against the null hypothesis, while a large p-value means little or no evidence against the null hypothesis. The decision to reject a null hypothesis or not depends on the level of significance alpha. If p-value less than alpha, reject null hypothesis. If p-value greater than alpha, fail to reject null hypothesis. The level of significance used is 0.05. The p-value is less than alpha, reject null hypothesis. We are 95% confident that the population proportion is less from 0.15. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Bye. See you next time.